Okay. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, this is a statement on the urgent need of actions to protect integrity of Kenyan exams and certificates. Dear Kenyans, since 2016, the country has been on the path of major reforms in the education sector, and notably in the management of national examinations. These reforms were intended to restore sanity to the examination process and maintain dignity and integrity in our education sector. They were meant to ensure that our graduates at whatever level are recognized and respected across the world. Back in 2016, and following the serious concerns about the management of national exams, the government of Kenya identified a secure printing firm in the UK, that is Stephen Austin Printing Limited. This is a security printing firm that deals with several exams and other high-stakes documents in different parts of the world. Kenyans will agree that in that period, sanity returned in the management of exams with grades that reflected reality. We have established that early this year, the Kenya Kwanza administration suddenly and abruptly stopped this contract just because the UK company refused to give kickbacks. Without following any legal procurement processes, due diligence procedures, and attention to examination timelines, the Kenya Kwanza administration awarded the Kcpe and the KSE exam printing contract to a politically correct local company based on Mombasa Road in Nairobi. The government was advised that the Mombasa Road-based company did not have the capacity to print the exams and also ensure its security and integrity, especially on such a short notice. Nobody would budge because there were kickbacks involved. We are aware that the Mombasa Road company then had to outsource the exam printing services from a company based in India, where the exams were printed in a hurry. You are also aware that the UK firm, whose contract was cancelled, declined to provide codes to the many layers of security that had been encrypted to safeguard the integrity of both Kcpe and KCSE. We believe this process was sudden change of printer, hacking the exam system, and having them printed on a short notice are responsible for the disaster we have witnessed with respect to Kcpe. The situation was worsened by the fact that in return for kickbacks, the procurement for relaying the results to the public using the short code 40054 was also taken away from the regional provider and awarded on short notice and corruptly to a company that does not have the capacity to handle the same. This led to the mess where the results received expensively using the short code was different from the one on the Kenya National Examination Council portal and sent to schools. It led to what NEC has called misalignment of marks and grades. Grades in science and social studies, as well as religious studies, were truncated. The route saw the Kcpe candidates get graded for subjects they never set for. It saw an entire class score same grades in science in one school. The system deployed could not produce the plus and minus signs. What a shame. Consequently, For the first time in our country, some children are in court seeking to establish their true grades, while the Education Ministry is admitting students to Form 1, including those still challenging the marks they were awarded. This impunity and corruption that is messing up the future of our young children is sanctioned from the highest offices in the land. We can today disclose that the mess in Kcpe started as a tender war pitting various senior officials in the Ministry of Education against each other before eventually being taken over by an official much higher up in government. The hunt for quick money has now taken the Kenya Kwanza entrepreneurs from petroleum products and edible oils to exams. It has messed up the 2023 Kcpe and will likely find its way into KCSE, whose marking is currently underway in a tense and uncertain environment. Over the decades, Kenya has had a reputation of a credible and trustworthy education system that culminates in very rigorous, fiercely competitive, but eventually credible examinations and certificates. Today, this respect for our education, in particular our exams, is under serious threat. Kenyans are very much alive to the challenges that have been facing the integrity of our exams in recent years. That is why our young people joke darkly whether their colleagues have Professor Jacob Kaimenyis, Dr. Fred Matiangis, or Professor George Magoha's exam grades. Today, the young people are struggling with the value of Mr. Ezekiel Machogu's grades. In view of the fact in our possession, we have today taken an unprecedented step and written to key education stakeholders for a partnership to secure and defend the integrity of the Kenyan exams and the certification that accrues from it. We have taken these steps out of a firm belief that once we allow education and exam systems to be caught up in tender wars, then we have no country to talk about. It is a universally accepted principle that the collapse of the education system is the collapse of a nation. We believe that devaluing the integrity of our exams and certificates presents an existential threat to our country, and we have to close ranks and deal with it dispassionately and professionally. We will be subjecting our children to ridicule, diminished employment, especially overseas, and admission opportunities in the region and abroad if we allow the integrity of our exams and certification to be questionable. And the truth is that these are getting questioned. We have therefore written to the following bodies: 1, the Catholic Bishops' Conference; 2, the National Council of Churches of Kenya;